Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I would like to share with you a scary story that happened to me when I was traveling through Europe many years ago. It was a hot summer night, and I decided to take a bus from Amsterdam to Paris. I got on the bus and sat down. It was about 2 rows from the middle. As the bus started driving away from the station, more people got on and slowly the bus filled up. And then it got quiet. It was a long journey and most people fell asleep, including myself. Several hours into the ride, I woke up and turned to my right. To my surprise, all the people who were sitting next to me were gone. I looked out the window and saw that we had stopped at a gas station. Thinking that maybe other passengers needed to use the restroom, I decided to wait a bit. However, after 10 minutes, they still hadn't come back. That's when I noticed something peculiar. All the seats in front of me were also empty. I turned to the left and saw a woman sitting in the very last row. She was wearing a scarf and pulled it close to her face, hiding her features from view. At that moment, the driver glanced at the rearview mirror and said to himself, "She's still here?" Puzzled by his words, I turned to him and asked, "What did you say?" He looked at me in the mirror and responded, "Nothing. Just keep your eyes on the road ahead of you." His tone was sharp and I sensed irritation in his voice. As the journey continued, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something wasn't right. I looked back at the woman and noticed that she had moved. She was now standing up, swaying slightly, as if dancing to a rhythm I couldn't hear. I turned away quickly, feeling a chill down my spine. A few minutes later, the driver suddenly slammed on the brakes, causing me to lurch forward. He then made an illegal U-turn and drove in the direction of the cemetery. I couldn't help but think, are we going back to the cemetery? These thoughts echoed in my mind, but I couldn't bring myself to actually speak them out loud. Upon arriving at the cemetery, the driver turned off the engine and all the lights. He then turned to the woman at the back and said, "You can get out now." Startled by his words, I quickly looked around, realizing that all the other passengers were also awake. Their faces were pale, their eyes wide with fear. They had been pretending to sleep just like me. As the woman in the scarf got off the bus, the driver shouted at her, "Don't forget what you have to do." His voice was filled with anger. She nodded slowly and walked towards the cemetery entrance. The driver then turned to the rest of us and announced, "We have to wait here for an hour." None of us moved. We were all frozen in our seats, paralyzed by fear. After what felt like an eternity, the driver broke the silence. "Well, here we go again," he said, starting the engine and turning on the bus lights. "Are we going back to pick her up?" I asked, my voice trembling. The driver didn't respond. Instead, he turned on the radio, filling the bus with static. We waited in tense silence, each of us consumed by our own thoughts and fears. As the minutes ticked by, the atmosphere inside the bus grew heavy with anticipation. Thank you for listening to this scary story. If you enjoyed it, please show your support. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, I would love to hear your scary travel experiences. Share them in the comments below. I'm eager to read them. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.